have to take back control. And let me say at the start, Ryan, that I'm not a Luddite. I don't believe that we should get rid of technology. I'm not getting rid of my smartphone. I'm not getting rid of my iPad. This is not the point. The point is we have to get a handle on it, or we're going to lose control of it entirely. And especially for our kids, for our next generation, if they're going to spend 25 years on their phone, what are we doing about that? Are we teaching anything about that? Are we concerned about that? How is that affecting their walk with God? And I'm not just talking about the bad things on the internet. There's obvious challenges with content. But here's one of the main points of the book, and this is a Marshall McLuhan phrase: the medium is the message. He's the one that started with that. And obviously he's not I don't think he claimed to be a Christian, but a social critic and a professor. But what he meant by that was that, when they built trains in America, it didn't really matter what was on the trains, if they were hauling chickens or bicycles. The fact that they put rails through the middle of America, it changed everything about America. The fact that railways came through, it didn't matter what the weather was that they traveled through or what states they traveled through. The fact that we had trains changed how we shop for groceries. It changed our jobs. It changed the textile industry.
Technology changed our lives.
And then I'll just say this. He calls it extensions of man, but Neil Postman's part, is it okay to go into this?
Sure.
At this point? Neil Postman's idea was that the change was not additive, it was ecological. And this is the foundation where I start in the introduction of the book. The change was ecological, and he uses this metaphor. Well, I'll use my own metaphor. Do you have a dog?
I do.
Ryan?
I do.
Yeah, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a Schnauzer.
Wow. You love your dog?
Sometimes.
That's funny. Okay. Didn't expect that question. Oh, wow. Well, let me tell you something. When you get a dog, you don't just have your life plus a dog, right?
Right.
When you get a dog, it changes your routine. It changes
Very true.
because you have to feed the dog. You have to take the dog out. When you go on vacation, you have to figure out if you're going to find pet-friendly hotels or if you're going to ask somebody to take care of the dog while you're gone. It changes family holidays. Are you bringing the dog to your friend's house or your family's house? What are you going to do with the dog? It changes every part of your life. It changes family photos. But a lot of people think a lot longer about getting a dog than they do a smartphone. So smartphones, that technology, and this is Neil Postman's point. He says it's like adding a drop of red food coloring to a beaker of water. You don't have a beaker of water plus a drop of red. That drop of water changes every molecule in that beaker. So smartphones have changed everything we do. It's changed everything we do. It's changed our calendar. It's changed our banking. It's changed our family time. It's changed our communication. It's changed our church time. It's changed every single part. It's changed our walk with God.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Have you ever had a text in the middle of your prayer time?
For sure. Unfortunately, I have.
Now,
I try to put it on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah. Have you ever answered the text in the middle? Excuse me, God. Someone's more important here. He lost the phone challenge. That's my point. That it's changed us existentially. We actually have a biological self and a digital self as well. Now, you're a prime example. I mean, you're sitting there in that chair right now, but you have a digital presence as well. The average 1 and 2 year old already has an online presence. So how are we going to guide that? Are we going to ignore that and just pretend that this 25 years it needs no direction? Or are we going to think critically about it? Are we going to go into an existence of performance? Because social media, for instance, is performance art to a degree. Okay?
Yeah.
Are we paying more attention to performing than being conformed to the image of Christ?
And I think that that's really the biggest question there is, are we allowing it to shape us into something that is less than godly, or are we allowing it to help us become more godly, become more useful in the kingdom of God? And I'd like to go down that route and talk through those types of things. But I want to back up just a minute and talk about your late son, Anthony. During his battle with cancer, he made a pretty profound observation that you included in your book about smartphones. Can you share what he said and why that was important?
Sure. It was very poignant to me because he said, he called me one day and he said, Dad, I want you to include this in your book. And we were nearing the end. It was a very difficult time. I said, son, I would be glad to. Tell me what's on your mind. And he literally was at the point in his shortened life where he had to choose what he was leaving to whom. And he said to me, you know what's amazing? We spend so much time on these devices. We spend so much time on these. And nobody wants my phone. In the end, after all the attention I pay it, after all the absorption, after all this, being this eating up all of my time, nobody even wants this gadget. This is meaningless. Nobody's going to fight over my smartphone.
Wow.
He said, we really need to figure out what is important. And there was a tear in his voice when he said it. And I thought to myself, when you look mortality in the face, it brings clarity.
No doubt. That's what I was thinking in my mind when you were saying that. Mortality brings clarity. I love the way you put that.